Across the screens, Part 5. Days had passed since Lina left, and Rohan was beginning to feel a growing sense of unease. He hadn't heard from her since their last meeting, and when he tried to contact her, all his calls and messages went unanswered. At first, he assumed she was simply taking some time to herself, but as the silence stretched on, worry gnawed at him. Unable to shake the feeling that something was wrong, Rohan decided to visit Lina's house. He arrived, hoping for some sign that she was all right. But when he knocked on the door, he was met with the anxious faces of Lina's family. They, too, were deeply concerned about her sudden departure. "Lina left without saying a word," her mother said, her voice trembling with worry. "We didn't know she was planning to leave. She didn't tell us anything." Rohan's heart sank as he listened to her family's concerns. It was clear that Lina had taken great care to keep her plans hidden from everyone, even those closest to her. "Did she leave any message or anything?" Rohan asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Lina's father handed him a folded letter. "We found this after she left," he said, his voice filled with sadness. Rohan took the letter and quickly read through it. In it, Lina explained that she needed a fresh start, that she was overwhelmed by everything that had happened, and that she was leaving to find peace. She asked her family not to search for her, reassuring them that she was safe but needed to be alone. There was no mention of where she was going, no explanation for why she felt the need to leave so abruptly. The letter was filled with sadness and quiet determination, but it gave no clues as to her whereabouts. Rohan felt a wave of guilt wash over him. He knew that part of the reason Lina had left was because of the lies and deceits he had been a part of. But standing in her home, surrounded by her worried family, he couldn't bring himself to admit his role in pushing her away. Instead, he offered them what little comfort he could. "I'm sure she'll be okay," Rohan said, though his words felt hollow. "Maybe she just needs some time to herself. I'll try to find her, and if I do, I'll let you know." Lina's family nodded, though it was clear they were far from reassured. They thanked Rohan for his concern, and after a few more moments of strained conversation, Rohan left the house. As he walked away, his mind raced with thoughts of where Lina could be. He couldn't shake the fear that something terrible had happened, that she had taken this drastic step because of everything she had gone through. Determined to find her, Rohan reached out to all of Lina's friends, hoping one of them might know where she was. But each call, each message, was met with the same response: no one had heard from her, and no one knew where she had gone. Days turned into weeks, and Rohan's search yielded nothing. Lina had truly disappeared, leaving no trace of where she had gone. The more he searched, the more he realized how thoroughly she had severed ties with her old life. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Meanwhile, Alex was slowly beginning to rebuild his life. The pain of losing Lina still weighed heavily on him, but with Sophie's unwavering support, he was able to start moving forward. Sophie had become his anchor, the person he leaned on as he tried to make sense of everything that had happened. Sophie was patient and understanding, always there to offer a listening ear or a comforting presence. Under her influence, Alex began to see the breakup as a painful but necessary lesson, a chance to learn and grow. Slowly, the memories of Lina began to fade, replaced by the present and the possibilities of the future. Though the scars of the past remained, Alex was determined to heal, to leave the heartbreak behind and embrace a new chapter in his life. With Sophie by his side, he felt like he could finally move on, even if the memories of Lina would always linger somewhere in the back of his mind. Lina had settled into a quiet, peaceful life, far from the chaos she had left behind. She had moved to a rural part of the country, a place where no one knew her or her past. The village was small and close-knit, and Lina quickly became a part of the community. Her neighbors and colleagues at work treated her with kindness and warmth, and soon they became like family to her. To protect herself and her unborn child, Lina had created a story, a small lie that her husband had passed away, and she had moved to this quiet place to start over. It was easier this way than explaining the painful truth of her past. The villagers, kind-hearted and compassionate, accepted her story without question. They admired her strength and determination, and they took care of her as if she were one of their own. As the months passed, Lina's sadness began to ease. Though the pain of her past still lingered, It was softened by the growing love she felt for the baby inside her. She was 8 months along now, and each day brought her closer to meeting the little one who had become the center of her world. The thought of holding her baby in her arms gave her hope and strength, helping her move forward, one step at a time. Lina's new life was simple but fulfilling. She had made a few close friends at her office and in her neighborhood, people who genuinely cared for her well-being. They would often visit her, bringing homemade meals and offering to help with anything she needed. In return, Lina shared her quiet moments of joy with them, her heart slowly healing with the support of her new community. Despite her efforts to move on, Rohan had not given up his search for Lina. He had scoured every place he could think of, reaching out to mutual friends and even searching online for any trace of her. But Lina had been thorough in her disappearance. She had left no clues, no connections to her old life. As time passed, Rohan began to accept that perhaps this was for the best. Maybe it was fate's way of allowing them both to start anew, to move on from the tangled mess of their past. Though Rohan still thought of Lina, he slowly began to rebuild his own life. He focused on his career, made new friends, and tried to find happiness in the little things. The guilt and worry he had once felt began to fade, replaced by a sense of acceptance. He knew that wherever Lina was, she was strong enough to take care of herself and her baby. Meanwhile, Alex's life had taken a different turn. With Lina gone and no way to find her, he had thrown himself into his work. His business was flourishing, and the success gave him a sense of purpose that had been missing since Lina left. But more than that, he found himself growing closer to Sophie. Her constant support and unwavering love had helped him through the darkest days, and now he was beginning to see her in a new light. What started as friendship had blossomed into something deeper. Alex was falling in love with Sophie, and for the first time in a long while, he felt a sense of peace and contentment. Sophie was everything he needed: kind, understanding, and patient. She had been there for him when he was at his lowest, and now he wanted to build a future with her. As Alex's business continued to grow, so did his relationship with Sophie. They spent more time together, planning for the future and dreaming of the life they could build together. Though the memories of Lina would always be a part of him, Alex was ready to move forward, to create a new life with Sophie by his side. In her quiet village, far from the people she had once loved, Lina was doing the same. Her heart was still healing, but with each passing day, she found more reasons to smile, more reasons to believe that she could build a new life for herself and her baby. Both Lina and Alex had taken different paths, but each was finding their way forward, letting go of the past and embracing the future with hope and determination. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe to hear the next part of the story.